We're talking about a man who slept in hospital chairs, skipped meals, and ignored calls because doctors whispered those heartbreaking words. Ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath because what we're about to reveal will rock the very foundation of hip-hop's royal love story. Remy Ma is fighting for her life, and Papoose is refusing to leave her side. According to anonymous trembling sources close to the situation, Remy Ma collapsed suddenly, and ever since then, Papoose hasn't let go of her hand, even though fans are crying and social media is exploding. Perhaps it's too late, or is this the price of betrayal, a twist of fate, or something much darker hiding beneath Remy Ma's last tears? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going deep because this isn't just drama, it's a tragedy. Did heartbreak break Remy's body? Is this her karma or a conspiracy? And here's the wildest part. Some people claim that Remy made a deathbed confession that left Papoose completely devastated. The streets of New York are silent, unfolding in real time, and after hearing what we discovered, ladies and gentlemen, you won't look at Remy Ma the same way ever again. Let's start with the unimaginable. 1 minute, she's laughing backstage, while drinking from a water bottle adorned with diamonds and wearing a fur coat that most likely cost more than your car. And the next, she's lying on the ground, barely breathing. Witnesses backstage at a private industry event told Gossip Spill vibe that Remy was staring off all night while Papoose screamed for help as if his world had just ended, and perhaps it did. One staff member, who was choosing to remain anonymous, likely to keep their job, claimed that Remy wasn't herself. She looked pale and quiet as if something was weighing on her soul, but no one anticipated that paramedics would rush her to Mountie. Sigh where the whispers began. At first, it was just that she fainted, but then came the words that make you shudder. Unstable, critical, she's not responding. And that's when Papoose, the ride-or-die king himself, broke. Let's go back in time because you know this isn't just about a random, not to mention the drama Ray has been involved in recent months, including the leaked video of her slinking out of a Manhattan hotel with 50 Cent, the widely circulated rumors of her covert marriage to DJ Envy, the violent altercation with Clarissa Shields in which someone's wig ended up on a chandelier, and the heartache she caused Papoose when he discovered on live television that she might not even be his daughter's biological mother. Since then, there have been numerous scandals, and now her body is showing the white flag. According to family insiders, Remy was diagnosed with a stress-induced heart condition months ago, but she allegedly disregarded the doctor's warnings, telling one friend, "I've survived prison, I can survive anything." Yeah, but maybe not this Papoose who's been nothing but loyal through prison bids, cheating scandals, and baby mama drama is crumbling. Multiple sources say he hasn't left her bedside once since she was admitted. He's been seen pacing the ICU. He was reported to have attempted to elude hospital security when they asked him to leave during a shift change, with his face buried in his hoodie, whispering prayers and telling staff, "She's my everything, I can't lose her." One nurse described him as being like a man possessed, constantly shouting, "If she dies alone, you'll have." And the fans, oh, they've changed from being trolls to crying TikTok, is overflowing with edits of Remy and Papoose's most memorable moments. One fan wrote on Twitter, "I used to clown Remy, but this don't feel right. Papoose don't deserve this. Nobody deserves this." But this is where it gets even more sinister. There are strong rumors that Remy's mother may have sensed something was coming. According to a close friend of Ray's who risked everything to reach out to us, a week prior to her collapse, Remy had a private conversation with her team in which she allegedly said, "If anything happens to me, protect Pap. Protect him from what, Remy? What do you know that we don't?" And here's the plot twist. Someone from her legal team reportedly showed up at the hospital the same night she was admitted. Not a publicist, not a manager, a lawyer. What was she planning? A confession or something that could shatter everything we thought we knew about her. There is currently no official medical report or statement from the family, just silence and sadness. But something is simmering there because if this was just a fainting spell, wouldn't they say that Pap would be smiling through the storm if she was stable? Instead, he has been spotted. It gets worse, ladies and gentlemen, because as Papoose was seen holding Remy's hand, she allegedly attempted to say, "I should have forgiven her earlier. I waited too long." One janitor even claimed to hear Papoose sob in the hospital chapel, clutching her chain as if it were his last connection to her. Something with a single syllable, a name, a word. But she was unable to finish it. Her monitors spiked, her lips quivered, and she passed out once more. What was she trying to say? Was it peace, Pap, or was it please? Please forgive me. We'll let you guess because this story is only beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Of Mount C are trembling. Not from monitors or machines, but from the tidal wave of truth that is finally coming to the surface because guess what? As medical professionals rushed to stabilize Remy Ma, the real story emerged from the shadows. And boy, it's more repulsive than anyone could have ever imagined. Several insiders who wished to remain anonymous but were terrified have now verified that Remy Ma's collapse was caused by a medical crisis she had been concealing for months. Undiagnosed heart damage allegedly made worse by prescription abuse, emotional trauma, and yes, severe anxiety brought on by years of public scandals, courtroom drama, and behind-the-scenes drama, rather than just stress or exhaustion. Betrayal, and this is where things go south. According to a hospital record that was leaked, Remy was taking several drugs to deal with psychological stress and arrhythmic risk, which means she was being watched for a possible heart attack. Despite this, she continued to be in the spotlight, go to events, and pick verbal altercations with Clarissa Shields on Instagram. Live Girl, a nurse who supposedly cared for Remy the night she was committed, claimed that she kept mumbling about guilt about something she had done wrong before whispering, "Tell Pap I'm sorry." Sorry for what? She asked, since moments later, Whisper Papoose fled the intensive care unit crying, and the very next hour, a handwritten letter purportedly written by Remy appeared online. It was dated 2 weeks ago, and it was addressed to Papoose rather than her fans or label. It says, "If anything ever happens to me, know that I never stopped loving you. I made mistakes. I was weak. I wanted you to be happy even if it wasn't with me, but you were the only man who ever supported me through it all." Did Remy Ma realize she was running out of time? The letter also mentions someone named E. Don't blame E. It was never love. It was a moment I regret. Who is E Easy? Twitter is retrieving old texts and direct messages. Reddit is attempting to triangulate her pulse based on shadows. And Block Captain Envy or someone worse is already doing forensic handwriting analysis. Online, it's like they're in a Netflix crime doc, where detectives compare the strokes of the R's and the way sheets her eyes look. In paparazzi pics from 3 weeks ago. But it doesn't stop there, because here's where the legal team comes back into the picture. A sealed envelope allegedly delivered to Remy's attorney the day before. Her collapse has now become the center of a brand new investigation. Whispers are flying that inside that envelope were documents naming a beneficiary to her estate, and Papoose didn't realize it. Was Remy trying to exclude Pap from everything? Or was she shielding him from something she didn't want to be linked to? One dubious tabloid even asserts that the beneficiary is a young girl from Remy's past, who may be a secret daughter or worse, a secret sibling that no one was aware of. And guess who's confirmed to be in New York right now avoiding cameras? Fat Joe, the original member of the terror squad, was reportedly seen entering the hospital through a private entrance late last night. This could have been a coincidence or damage control because, remember, it was Fat Joe who had defended Remy for years and referred to her as the strongest woman in the world. Game, who allegedly saved her from a deal that might have put her back in jail only 2 years ago. So why would he appear now without making a public statement or providing an explanation? The only explanation is that something significant is taking place behind those closed hospital doors that has the potential to upend hip-hop history and completely alter our preconceived notions about Remy. In the meantime, Papoose has completely disappeared from the public eye. He has deleted all of his Instagram accounts, tweets, and press, with the exception of one mysterious post that he deleted 5 minutes after it was uploaded. It read, "I was loyal to the end even when I didn't understand the beginning." What does that mean, fans? Think it's a reference to Remy's past lies? Maybe even something she hid about the beginning of their relationship? Some are speculating that Remy was never fully honest about the father of her daughter, or that there were deals made behind the scenes to keep the real story buried, and the most viral theory of all, that Remy faked her paternity test results years ago in order to keep Pap by her side. Because, ladies and gentlemen, an anonymous lab assistant is claiming that a sample was incorrectly filed under the incorrect case number. This is more serious than we initially anticipated. We're looking at sealed legal envelopes, forged medical documents, and a man who might have been alive for more than 10 years. And yet, in spite of everything, betrayals, secrets, and the near death, collapse, Papoose remains there, praying, hoping, and refusing to leave the woman who could have destroyed him. However, what comes next could change everything, as just as tragedy was beginning to set in, ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought the chaos was subsiding and the tears were drying up, a new storm struck. And this time it wasn't Remy Ma or even Papoose, but Clarissa's Shields, the unbeaten, unfiltered boxing champion, who was the last person we expected to speak. Clarissa looked directly into the camera and said, "I'm not gonna fake sympathy just because she's laid up." Remy was moving like she was unstoppable, but what did she do when former enemy number one won in her personal soap opera? Clarissa went live while still wearing her gym gloves, her sweat still dripping and her eyes blazing. Mike's comment section exploded when he said, "Karma that don't miss. You play with people's lives, yours might get played too." Some called her heartless, while others said she's finally saying what everyone's been thinking because, let's be honest, Ray has been enmeshed in lies, betrayal, and beef for years. And now that she's vulnerable, it's all bubbling to the surface. The surface like poison, but hold on. That's not even the most bizarre twist. Shortly after Clarissa's livestream, a voicemail said, "Pap, I know you won't hear this now, but she's been lying. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to save you. There are things you don't know that she kept hidden." Remy collapsed in the eye. Voicemail. Reddit users are already working extra hours. According to a so-called family insider on a widely shared thread, Clarissa was discussing Remy Ma's medical records and that the collapse wasn't the first time. Allegedly, Remy had a minor stroke last year while traveling abroad, and instead of while receiving treatment, she allegedly paid off her team to remain silent in order to avoid missing a festival booking. Let that sink in. Now, the hospital is overrun with paparazzi reporters and suspicious plainclothes officials who appear to be from some agency. No one knows why, as it's no longer just about her health. It concerns possible fraud, including rumors of fabricated insurance claims, prescription fraud, and even that Remy's label was using shell corporations to transfer money. You guessed it. The paperwork points to her personal stylist, not a manager or business partner who used to share pictures of Remy on Instagram. Her Dior fits and custom wigs turns out he's being quietly questioned by federal agents for possible financial misconduct. Remy's entire empire is shaking meanwhile. Papoose, he's trapped in the middle of it all. Friends say he hasn't spoken a word to the press. Not even Fat Joe, one nurse told Gossip Spill Vibe, he just sits at Remy's side reading. He is still refusing to leave despite old texts from their early days together and silent tears, according to a hospital staffer who said they heard him say, "If she opens her eyes, I want mine to be the first she sees." His face was broken, but now comes the question no one wants to ask. What if? She doesn't open them because, let's be clear, Remy Ma is still in critical condition as of right now. She has had 2 emergency procedures, been in and out of consciousness, and her legal team has now filed a private request to limit the amount of information made public, which, in my opinion, only serves to highlight the suspicion that fans have. People are divided over whether this is a tragedy, a story of redemption, or the last chapter of a long overdue fall from grace. As a result, radio hosts are dedicating throwback sets to her early music during candlelight vigils in the Bronx. And on Twitter, the hashtag #InJarP Pray For Me is trending right next to Ijajar J Justice for Pap. And here's the worst part. One of the most well-known hip-hop women is sitting in the intensive care unit, fighting for her life, and allegedly paying out of pocket because she didn't trust the system. Is that brave of her, or are we just stupid, ladies and gentlemen? An exclusive source who claims to work in hospital billing claims that Remy was uninsured at the time of her admission, observing a tale that will be studied for years to come, a warning about secrets, fame, love, and ego, and while we wait for any official update from the family, we are left with the unsettling realization that Papoose might be the last genuine person standing, a man who remained faithful through scandals, public humiliation, and a potential deathbed, betrayal, but he never left. So now the last question hangs over the whole story like a threatening cloud. Will Remy Ma wake up and tell the truth at last? Or will she keep those secrets forever, ladies? And gentlemen, this isn't just another celebrity headline. It's a story that makes you think about everything. Papoose is currently standing in the fire, praying and refusing to give up on the woman who may have betrayed him in ways that the world is still unaware of. Whether Remy Ma wakes up or not, The damage is done, the secrets are out, and the world will know that you understood what it meant to ride till the wheels fall off. Love, fame, and fame. Do you think Remy Ma deserves forgiveness? Was Clarissa acting inappropriately, or was she simply speaking the truth? What would you do if you discovered that your entire relationship may have been based on lies? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. If this story resonated with you, don't hesitate to hit the like button. You will never look at her the same way again. In the chest, and subscribe to the only channel for more unvarnished, unadulterated truth that has the guts to reveal what they're trying to hide.